Missing on your screens, folks. There is a slight data issue going on with the HUD right now. So instead of pausing and delaying, we decided we just want to watch some VALORANT. Yes. Right? We're just going to cast some VALORANT. So we are going to go on without it. NIP starting off on the attack. You see they want to turn their attention towards A, and the hit's coming in fast.
That's big. And already getting some value though from NIP with Jonn with the Reyna flash. Xand gets so advanced. Last looking for more with the shortest chamber. That's ridiculous.
Oh, it's just Sugar Zero, and he finds the perfect timing with the classic. He's still so healthy, too. 25 armor to him. cauanzin, the onus is on him. He has a minute. He has all the time in the world to think this one through, but instead he decides he gives the shoulder, and the shot's out from Sugar Zero. The Red Bull clutch at the 1v1 at the end to clean things up. Woo! See here, it does not look like NIP are forcing up very much at all, so there should be an advantage for ZETA, and if there wasn't one before, there is now.
Yeah. Xand gets shut down immediately. And Depp is back on the Jett. We saw him sage hopping a little bit last time, but immediately pulling out the Marshall tells you what we're going to see this game.
Yeah, if that's an indicator of what's to come, I'm excited.
And there's a possibility even with Laz to double up if he gets his tour de force online.
Little liquid vibes here.
Jonn is advanced. That means TENN's in trouble, but he doesn't go down. He doesn't fall. Well, he spoke too soon.
Yeah, you jinxed him, mate. Depp with the updraft. Not able to land any shots. My goodness, bullets flying all over the place.
I love how he actually advances forward and takes the space, though, but the drone! Sugar Zero's there to cover.
He was so weak. He was so weak anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it was a scary moment, though, that potentially they could find something, because he might have been able to pick up a Spectre. I mean, they're swinging out of heaven anyways, though, so all good. 2-0. And
off of big shots like that, it's got to be off of finding openings that you need and winning the things that you should win, right? Like the advantage that they had on guns just proved to be too much at the end of the day. As we enter the third round, Depp still with that Marshall. Hit his first shot. We'll just ignore those two.
Oh, no. He gets away, though, but will he pass? Yeah, crosses the entire time. And now Jonn is really advanced, but do we expect Laz? This is something that they were doing over and over, swapping out one player, and then Laz, even if he gets in trouble, can't TP away, but that dart.
Yeah, but even that was key, right? Because it only tagged Laz. It didn't tag TENN.
He's heard the TP away, so they won't re-clear, especially after hearing the Marshall, and he will actually punish two kills.
He gets two, and Laz gets one to boot. There's just one left. It's B&J who's waiting to see if a flank was coming. Something in from A never came. B&J in a pretty brutal position here. But of course, there's no time like the present. No reason not to go for it, I guess.
Sugar Zero's on the flank, though. Yeah, he's trying to save, and actually does the right thing. Puts up his Viper wall. Nobody's going to walk on over it past that one.
Left.
And looks in this direction. So, he should escape with the Vandal. 25 seconds left. And I think this is actually kind of... It would be massive if he had a Hero Vandal in the next round.
Yeah, in the same breath, I'm actually kind of surprised that we're not seeing ZETA push this a little bit.
10 seconds left.
Especially now that they know where he is.
Yeah, it's an interesting one, too, because I mean, you just want a bonus, basically, right? So you don't want to lose any other weapons so that you could bonus again in rounds that are coming. Layers here on ICEBOX, and exactly the same thing we were seeing against Fnatic. That worked out so well. That made Laz start to really gain significant momentum.
That's a good spot.
The ace from the exact same position that he's in right now. Really shifted the balance of that game.
NIP pushing things B. You hear the Blade Storm came out early on. Oh my goodness.
He's high.
Yes, he is. Doesn't spot anyone, though.
Yeah, not even a shoulder. Not even a utility shot out. And now they're actually pushing back with a couple shock darts. And the plant can't go down.
We'll see how much delay becomes a factor here. As Jonn's already fallen, and I guess you delay by just killing the opposing team. ZETA managed to find 2 big kills here early on.
I mean, he must not have a wall. That's the reason why they're struggling so hard to go for this.
Yeah.
Not even something where he puts it up and they end up having the same situation anyways. No, he did actually put down the wall. That just got broken instantly. Depp finds one through the wall as well. And clean again. 4 players remain for Zeta Division. Is it going to provide for you as well? Or is there any flank watching abilities that it does that you can see? Outside of the Reyna, the only difference in this comp is Laz on his chamber.
Saw Depp with an operator to kick off the round. We were talking about him and his opping previously. Marshall, now he's been able to upgrade to the big boy. We'll see if he finds any value with it. Also has the Blade Storm in his back pocket in case things get a little dicey. But a quiet round early on from NIP.
I really like the setup that Laz has. If you take your eyes to the minimap, over towards B at the back of yellow again. He's got the TP he can play off of, but he's also got the alarm bot to cover the other side of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's completely happy to play this wide off angle.
Oh, what a shot, but he dashes forward. Cloudburst decides to throw it in reverse and get away.
Same mistake that we saw 2 rounds ago as well. Definitely some nerves here in this game.
Enemy mark.
Fortunately, this time he preserves his life. But NIP start to knock. They start to push forward.
30 seconds left.
And it's going to be on Zeta. Shock Dart, Molly, all come in a bit late. It's going to have to be on them to fight for the retake.
Nice slow to actually hold off Depp for the time being. And 3 players towards screen, so Depp has to hold this angle. Meanwhile, NIP, some players really far back, and as that pick comes in too, that's going to put so much more pressure on the Sova to get back in time.
Only 2 left for NIP, and that might be enough. A 1v2, 57 HP. I don't know that they know where he is, but the operator that we highlighted at the beginning of the round proves to be the saving grace for Zeta, as once again, 5 rounds in a row.
Yeah, and this man was playing Sage last map. Laz is pushed down mid though this round, actually. Almost finds a tag on the leg. Actually, he did.
He did? Yeah, I think he did.
He definitely did.
Here.
See the light buyout from NIP. Just Spectres across the board, if I'm not mistaken. So not much to work with here. You understand now that there's a lot of pressure mid from the Tour de Force. Have no idea where Depp is at this point. But you have to assume he's got an operator, right? You're just kind of trying to figure out where at this point.
Every time they do anything, there's a slow that comes out. And that Poison Orb, too, delaying them quite a lot. Sugar Zero just playing back, though, and they're going to plant top site. And get a pit down.
That's massive. Sugar Zero, yes, he finds value right at the end. But the pit has still gone up. Sugar Zero still back. They're finding a second. Now the challenge comes out from NIP. 1 HP falls. The pit was a bit too much for him to deal with. And the operator up close. I believe Depp has, it's like 13 kills at this point, 12 kills. Maybe I'm giving him a couple extra here. But the guy's been such a problem, a 6-0 lead.
Yeah. I think you're actually underselling. I think go on top of the rope as well. Otherwise, that wouldn't have been possible because he would have had players holding that angle. Though, definitely a favorite towards the other side. Oh. So that, I think, was actually intended to be a fake dash. But I'm not sold on that idea because nobody's there to actually hear it.
Sure. Oh, got some trouble. Tag. Dashes away. The second one hits. Does the third? Yeah, he does. Depp tried going up top. You're right.
And there's no tour de force this time from Laz.
NIP established back yellow control as they try to find a round on the board.
Sugar Zero is here, though, and he has the Viper's Pit. If they end up getting the spike down, he can always respond for that.
Oh, my gosh. Yep. That certainly works. That's one way to do things. Tagged up, not able to convert on the third as a clip run try. The res comes back up as you bring Crow back into the fold.
Oh, he got out of that. Thought he was going to die for sure.
Still at a disadvantage numbers-wise, it is. As the spike ticks.
Last player standing.
Yeah, it just went from bad to worse. TENN's going to have to find a way into this thing. Do they? Nah, they have no idea where he is. And he doesn't have any time.
Or utility. Or... Actually, 2 left. Still no time, though. Make him sweat a little.
Yeah, an attempt was made.
Yeah. And if he's like, oh. And only 3 players who are carrying any sort of economy into this. Actually, only 2.
Get out of my way.
But still a gun round. And they will explore mid once again. The knives in the updraft to actually find anybody. That's Laz he's looking for. But he won't poke his head out. Because once again, he's playing behind the box to peek off the trademark this time.
There.
There's interesting Viper's wall out from ZETA-2, just adding an additional layer of cover. Furback yellow. It seems like NIP want to push mid and they want to push A, and Jonn may have just found the exact timing that he was looking for, man. But he's not expecting the third up top. Has to dismiss. Ultimately falls. And the Cloudbird's not going to get, or excuse me, the Bladestorm's not going to get anything going there either.
And just one adjustment there. They keep putting a little bit of pressure on mid at the beginning of the round. This time, actually full pressure as Jonn walks all the way up bravely. And all of a sudden, ZETA doesn't have the materials required to hold on the site.
TENNN has a snap to try to land the shots.
Player standing.
And he ultimately falls. Nope, SugarZero's not going to do it either. As cauanzin gets
Lurks off. And again, they're pressuring it. So you can see that's exactly what NIP is thinking. Now, ZETA has responded, though, and they put Laz here. And they put a deep alarm bot, but it's just a fast wall. The classic strat, and they're going to updraft inside of Nest 2 to plant. Now, do they have the same post plant that DRX has shown us over and over, or are they trying to control?
Nice opener out from Laz with the headhunter.
I think they do.
Look at the hunting out from B&J, though, to expect the presence. He does. He expected, he knew it was there, but SugarZero wins out the duel. And now there's another layer. Look at how the Sova. cauanzin also falls, the next victim at the hands of SugarZero. Jonn, finally.
Res after res.
Yeah. Got him all over the place.
There's nobody there to defuse.
1, 2. Yeah, I don't know how they do this. I don't know how they do this. He finally gets up on top, but the operator from Depth saves, gets the kill. But you're right, there's no time.
This man just 1v5'd. BZN comes out of... And that is a momentum swinging round, even though he didn't get the last kill. ZETA's got to be scratching their head right now.
Deploying drone.
And there's a lot. Look, Laz has actually used all of its trademarks in mid this time. And you can see ZETA's definitely wondering, oh, is there going to be a flank? Right. No, not this round. So just having that little pressure has changed the game completely for NIP.
NIP managing to get the spike down again. And they have full control of the situation here. You even have cauanzin playing far off, waiting for the flank. Presumably has some lineups to work with too. Oh, never mind. Does he just drop one of those shock darts mid?
Ooh, getting ahead of yourself there. Jett finds it.
TENNN was on the tap. 4v4. His kills go back and forth. It's actually ZETA who finds a lead. Now cauanzin pushing forward. TENNN
Spike.
holding it. B&J with a chance to be the hero again, but it's not happening this time. ZETA gets a 7.
Interesting plant idea there from NIP. Mid peak, actually.
Scanning ahead.
Yeah, and ain't nothing doing. You heard the tour de force on line through, and then if you didn't, you're watching it now. And this is the angle that I initially thought Jam was going to be challenging, to be honest.
I think based on the economy of ZETA, NIP's actually... Or just based off the rest of the oh, that could have been a haircut. They're just expecting a little bit of aggression from ZETA, because it hasn't been shown at all. And eventually...
Here.
That type of strat does get pulled out late in the games. Unexpectedly. But no, it's just quiet. And it might feel like nothing is happening right now. But ZETA has rotated everybody except for SugarZero towards this A site.
The interesting thing, it was all off of the ponytail that was seen. But they stay! NIP push into it anyway! Spike's still not even past 410 at this point, but it may not matter as NIP finds what they're looking for. TENNN trying to spam through his Core 9 has the Hunter's Fury. He managed to get one tag. I don't know that he's got very much more.
Oh, he got into Jen.
They're just so far committed at this point. I don't think that they can bail out, but they haven't cleared TENNN.
And the dart was perfect to support SugarZero with the spam too. 14 seconds.
TENNN pushing in the smoke. That's as easy as it gets, man.
I don't know if that was easy. That was so safe to continue to play with that. And then it comes up after he crosses. Without the information that he's back there, nobody clears. And the dart comes in at the same time, too.
Double off defensive setup out from Zeta here. One of those in the hands of Laz, starting to rotate to B. He's not playing back yellow this time around. Could have sworn he got knocked at the beginning. I apologize. I may have lied to all of you.
There's a big flank coming, and I think cauanzin actually wants to use his ults. No, he's looking at it. There's two players here, though, both Jett and TENN.
And I mean, how can he check both? I don't know that there's a way for him to check both.
Yeah, but will TENN check?
Oh, the timing. Oh, he's spotted the gun barrel!
Perfect.
The Spectre cleans it up. Tep still has that up, and he's automatic with it.
There's the Viper's Pit to retake, too, even though they cleaned up the flank. This is getting dire for NIP. The res comes back, though. And they really need this round.
You see that ult through the tag. Sugar Zero boldly holds his nerve and swings out.
Player standing.
Ultimately falls Laz, the hero, for Zeta in a chance, in a position to do it again, but he doesn't have a ton of health. He doesn't have a ton of time. He doesn't have a ton of bullets, and he has way too many targets on the screen to deal with. cauanzin with 3 at the end there to get them the at least. I think we're ready. Are we ready? Ball, you ready?
Absolutely. Look,
Yeah.
Zeta is on the verge of taking it to a map number 3. And that's probably going to be the most interesting map of all. Because Split was one-sided, and this one looking one-sided as well, though NIP finding a little bit of fight. And they are grouping, so this is another big fight coming in towards mid, Doug.
It's all going to be timing, right? If they can get into A.
Backing off,
Yeah.
giving it up. The alarm bot there, the trademark from Laz.
It's all going to be on NIP to fight back for the retake.
They've rotated back to the B lane. Look how late xand and Jonn are.
Yeah, man, they're taking the scenic route.
And it's planted up towards Nest too, so you know post-plant is coming in.
Right. It's going to have a hard time spamming in through mid. They just have to push, right? They just have to fight. They don't have very many options. There it is. They all swing out at the same time. Dev gets peppered, but now without taking one with him, eventually falls. Skills going in favor of Zeta for now. Crow with some nice shots to stay alive. And look at the molly setups. They've got depth to this, man. There's really no way for Xand to get in. Yeah, there's almost no way at all. Maybe 1 kill.
3 bullets. 3 bullets on ICEBOX. Nope.
Last player standing.
The last series as well. That's fine, but you have to be ready for the basic things that come out of a regular round, and that's trademarks when you're playing against a Chember.
Another early gamble out from NIP. In the previous round, it was mid. This time, it's B.
And it looks like desperation, Doug.
Yeah.
It really does. It's an eco round again, but
Yeah, see, they have nothing to work with for guns.
and Jonn's left all by himself. They get the plant down easily. Little gap in the wall.
Teleport ready.
But there's nobody there. And this could be another slaughter.
Once again, they all show up.
Wait, they've given up a lot of space, actually. I thought they were going to continue to challenge. Jonn on top.
Maybe another lineup thing if it gets to that point, but that doesn't seem to be the case. You see the 2 remaining members make that 1 now. Out from NIP, so weak.
It's whack-a-mole. We're at the fair. They've been going for it, but no. Looks like Zeta's going to set up to deny a little bit of orb control. But xand, who usually is the player who's going to go for that because he has a little safety measure, is on the other side of the map. That dart got a lot of information in mid. And remember the things we talked about in the first half. You're not pressuring mid, then you can cheat a little bit more towards the other sides.
Sure.
And NIP took great advantage of that in the first half until their mid split. Well, it actually worked, the one where they planted Nest.
Mm-hmm.
But strategically it didn't, I'd say. But they need a hero like BZN again.
They need something. It's another 5-sec A. Perhaps it's Jonn.
A.
Perhaps Jonn's the hero.
Is he the hero?
Takes a good bit of damage there. The Leer out. just
It's
gonna
always
push him off
defensively,
angle.
always to escape with those layers.
Yeah.
And that was a problem in their game against DRX, was Jonn, especially on defense, was in the back of A, consistently trying to use the Lear to cross or something like that, rather than, and I guess it's kind of hard to find situations where you could use it aggressively on this map, especially given the rest of the comp doesn't complement. There's no stuns, there's no extra flashes, anything like that. Ooh, dab. And they just spotted him. No, knifes out.
Oh dear.
12 seconds though.
Yeah, I don't foresee time being an issue here.
This man's just running, gunning. Love it. Do it again. 3 players this time, cauanzin. You're in for a world of hurt, man. There's 3 people running at you with a Spectre. What can you do? Nothing.
It's just been so clean out from Zeta, and I think the question that the desk was asking was, which Zeta are we going to get, right? Are we going to get DRX Zeta? Are we going to get Fnatic Zeta? And I want to be careful about that comparison, because obviously DRX and Fnatic, at least in this tournament, were in such different forms that you can't effectively compare those two. But with that said, Zeta certainly seem drilled. They have a plan. They've had a plan coming into this map, and they've been executing it almost perfect.
I think that was the one map where I saw, and I was just like, because the Reyna pick, okay, we say all the things we say about it, but for a team like NIP, we're on ICEBOX. They're actually a good team on this map. It might not look like that in the scoreboard right now, but they really are. In Brazil, they went 7-1 on this map this year. So that's why you see them pick it in situations like the game against DRX, like this game right now. The problem is, you saw gaps. And I guess the regional metas, the way that Brazil plays ICEBOX, not matching up at all to the APAC region.
Slow and steady start from Zeta here in this round is, my goodness, they haven't even really left spawn.
It's looking like split again.
And that has been a trend from Zeta that we've observed throughout the entire tournament. They like to wait.
Drone through, they clear the angles. They've got to get some mollies down here. They've got the orb as well to delay. Wall goes up, they break it immediately. Only 20 seconds left. And BNJ finds the spike. Somebody else has to jump on it. This might be around where NIP hold on for a long time.
Jonn can find a kill here too. That certainly helps. 13 seconds left. We were talking about how they like to wait, and patience may have been their downfall there.
cauanzin, who's way off in Narnia. As Sova. Here we go. One player top pipes, and the other watching the belt angle too. This is the type of aggressiveness that I think will end up bringing NIP back in the game. They just got to be careful, like xand just was.
Cloudburst in his face as you hear the Empress comes online, and she instantly gets decrowned.
What boldness from Death. And he pays for it eventually, but Zeta claps back, Laz with another.
Here.
Poor guy just got healed. Has that Blade Storm and the Phantom with 2 big ones.
Yep.
TENNN in this 1v1. He still has some armor. Surely he's not in a position to get a res up, right? 1v3 perhaps uses it as bait.
There's bodies way far back, especially now that the wall's been put up, but you can't get past these mollies. xand is already waiting to make a play, but it's too early. He thinks the res, he's trying to time it. He doesn't even go for it. No bodies at the B site. Is there still an orb or something? I don't know why NIP is actually re-exploring this area right now.
30 seconds left.
It doesn't look like it.
Actually kind of criminal that TENNN managed to get out of there and get the spike down without any rotation. Now they're going to scoot to boot and try to get over as fast as they can.
Is he just playing inside of the bottom of Nest right there, the little hut that's been added? You know, this could really work out, but the way that they're going right now through the alarm bots that are down at the bottom of the B lane, he is stuck. So if they peek correctly,
Poison's off.
It's going to be a lineup thing. It's going to be a lineup thing. They spotted him one, not able to get the second.
Yeah, that was a massive gamble. He's not playing proactively there. He's not hunting at all. definitely disagree with the way that clutch was played, but he still almost made it work. Forced it down to 1v1, but I just don't see a way in that updraft knife spots, but it's not going to be. Meanwhile, on the other side, there is no ults, except for the knives.
Teleport's ready.
On xand. This is...
Just waiting for it.
Did he miss the Viper Orb? I think he might have. That's not BMJ's orb, is it? Or is it on top of it? Oh, we'll see. No, his orb is in mid. Okay, that's actually planted from the defensive side.
And it's so tough to see from here if it's like a one-way or...
Yeah, I think that's just straight up on the floor.
Yeah.
Which I think still might be missed, yeah. Yeah, that's missed.
Thank you, Depp. ZETA here, Ball, you were mentioning they've lost the last couple of rounds. Momentum feeling like it's swinging back in NIP's favor, and you wonder, off of the financial situation, if they can get this round, get us to map point, economy in a better spot, much more likely to close this thing out.
They're looking good to do it. I mean, they just got a lot of information. Just the Sage, everybody else hid. TENN got tagged. But now they give up a drone, so that's 2 players at least towards the side. And look at xand's position; he's really advanced.
They're so stubborn, Balla. They like, come hell or high water, they're gonna go A. They're gonna go to the site that they commit to, and this seems to be the play again. It's the same wall, but B&J goes unchecked. He's got the ultimate to work with 2 now. 13 seconds left. They've got to get that spike down. Laz trying to use his tour de force as a shotgun. Misses. B&J does not. There's Sugar0. 5 seconds left. He's got to get the spike down. It's a 1v1.
xand's coming up belts.
I believe he has a Blade Storm. Does Sugar0 know where he is? He's been so good for ZETA.
I think he's got an
up
op,
until this
actually.
moment. 4 bullets. Hero against Hero. The timing, the spot for xand, it was too easy there.
Yeah. Wow. Phantom to close it out, and another round going in the way of NIP. All the clutches so far in this one, which was the difference on split too when ZETA was trying to hold on. So, different situation here, but
He's got to go fight and get the defuse. Waits just for a second belt, and it was enough.
and it's funny because that patience was actually what made me think he had an op. But he's been playing on top of white multiple times now. And again, ZETA grouped up, droning him off. But will that be enough with BZN here as well? And Jonn walking down to...
It's almost the same round. It's almost the same approach from ZETA here.
They've got to clear out the back of yellow, though. The dart or something. Yep, there's the dart. Nice wall. He's actually just going to put it out. Cross with it.
The thing is, oh, there's one.
Nice.
And BZN falls.
Really gorgeous molly there to actually put even more pressure, force him to either make a decision to fight or cross. Waiting for the fuel to come back.
The nice thing for ZETA here is they have that alarm bar to make sure there's no flank coming around.
Yeah.
But again, they commit.
There's no flank even coming. I mean, this game is really static. There's the dart from cauanzin as well, though. It spots nobody crossing, but they could have missed the timing, so you can't have them rotate. Here's an aggressive play, though. They're going to wall and dart in the back of Snowman.
Sugar0 playing back there, has the Viper spit to come through. The Hunter Fury's going to follow shortly after as Jonn tagged up. cauanzin tried to dodge around. Wakro is throwing his way. Depp with 3 already, though, as NIP are left in shambles.
Ace.
A Prime Gaming Flawless coming through for ZETA to get us to map point.
Otherwise, that's fully open.
Yep.
And also not planted for anybody else. So, now there's a change here. For ZETA, xand, he's going to updraft late.
The Blade Storm is able to decapitate 1.
That's massive. I mean, they just get the res, and there's the ult to clap back immediately, and that actually might get more damage. No.
That was so close.
Wow. All that hard work completely eliminated. Now xand's going to try to actually recoup and make it a 4v5 once again. I mean, we talk about first bloods a lot on this broadcast, and he just got 2.
First blood.
First,
and then second
blood.
first blood. Either way, it took a little bit more effort, but numbers advantage in favor of NIP.
They're so slow. Oh, that's a big pick.
They are slow. They are patient.
Now there's no Viper Orb, and it's match point right now. So xand is going to make a hero play again.
It's PZN who does it. Laz should be able to get the spike down. Remember, xand still has those knives to miss. They've got to push forward. Oh, there's so much chaos on backside, man. They're trying to fight off. They're trying to keep Jonn at bay.
3v3.
And look at xand from up top. I don't think they know he's there. They don't know he's there. xand with 3. It's not going to be 4 because Jonn was there. They tried dealing with him. They weren't able to do so. NIP not done with ICEBOX quite yet.
No, they want to send him home right now. They want to end this. Qualify for playoff, join their Brazilian brothers in Loud, and they just gave the ult orb over towards Reyna instead of this. Going to come up for ZETA-NIP. They have to survive that if they want to continue this comeback.
Yeah.
And there's still money available for Zeta. I mean, this comp is just so good at having the staying power to fight over and over. In situations like this where NIP's trying to put them down, you have to hope for the money to be broken eventually. But it's just not happening. And this time there's no heroics, no aggressiveness from xand, no aggressiveness from Jonn either.
Well, it's interesting you say that too, because it seemed like they tried something A, but a dart spotted the initial aggression, but that was enough to move Zeta off of the group they had A to more of a, I don't want to call it a default, but yeah, perhaps a spread.
Dude, I haven't seen this wall in tube right now. Even in ranked for ages, man. That is prehistoric. And we talked about this on Split. The execute's going to have to start from so far back.
Yeah.
And they're going to pressure Jonn. NIP's made the wrong read, but we've seen them win in specific retake situations like this, and he's even knowing that he has to play in this way.
That's what's so interesting, Ball, is it's not like they wait, and then they explode, right? Like they wait, and then they drop some utility, and then they wait some more.
That was risky for TENNN. Actually went for the duel while he had the wall.
And 13 seconds. This is where they get in trouble. They've got to find the openings. They've got to find the space. They've managed to get the spike down. xand drops, gets picked right back up. As Jonn is still playing back sight. He's got that Reyna. TENNN playing a tight angle. Gets dropped. 4v4.
Molly's coming in from way far.
They've got plans to this thing. John's got to take the fight to them. He's got to take the fight to them.
2 left. Oh!
4 bullets left. It hauls onto Laz. The tap, he's going to force him to swing out, and Jonn gets 3. B&J's going to get the defuse.
Man.
They get to 9.
Their heart must be beating there. cauanzin with a dry switch on Jonn's side. And look, hey, look, he has the ult now, so there you go.
You hear the Blade Storm used at the beginning of the round. See if we can get the scoreboard up for you all to take a quick look at what buys look like.
Yep, just a little tap there, thank you. Vandals purchased. Knives left for Depp, and he dropped a weapon. So how hard is it to put this team down right now, especially when they're on map point? It's ridiculous. It is just ridiculous.
They've got xand with the operator A, and it seems like Laz might try to challenge that.
Match point, these rotations, these decisions. It feels like every time you make a, for example, the Sage in mid right now. Every time you rotate off of kitchen, you're like, oh, hold on, like what happens if they come right now?
And that's what's really interesting, Ball, is that they haven't the entire half.
Sure.
So for them
they haven't pushed mid, that's true.
Yeah, for them to drop the wall there 2 rounds in a row is just
a little weird when they're going for post plant too.
Yep.
The same aggressive wall.
You hear the Empress use Laz looking to push, looking to fight that Snowman, and he falls. cauanzin's able to take care of him. You got Sugar Zero with the flank.
Going back up through kitchen as well. Oh my goodness. 3 versus 3. xand still replies, and they're starting to get on the spike now, finally.
But it was just a tap. It was just a fake. He's
Now
going to force Sugar Zero out. It's a 1v3. He's going to have to be heroic for it again. I think he just spotted a spike.
Oh, no.
1, 2, but the defuse is going to get stuck.
Oh my goodness. Sugar Zero, so
choice.
Man, the crazy part too is if he just ignores xand updrafting there.
Yeah, and he just like.
And he goes for it. I mean, there's still time to get back on the spike though. At least he stops it. I mean, so many different situations, ways that could have gone. Zeta. That strat looks like a winner to me. And again, they have guns. Again, they have Vandals. There's just no saving here, especially with the loss bonus coming in. And potentially Laz also in the next round getting his tour de force online. NIP have to fight a full strength, and I'm sorry that I keep saying this, but so important.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Viper's Pit A. And again, Zeta as a death ball, a group of 5. Wanting to explore B, and there's a judge waiting. I wonder, oh yeah, the drone's gonna get cleared out, so BZM falls, but they don't know the Chand is there.
Yes, they do.
Shock dart pushes him off. Oh, now they know. There was questions before and answered.
Dude, they seem like they've learned a lot from that DRX game. That's a shock that DRX is using a lot.
Yep.
All up to Jonn. Shan.
You run double duelist for situations like this. The Viper's Pit comes through to provide some cover, and you hear the tour de force online. Still a 5v4. It's a 5v3, and TENN might put this thing away himself unless cauanzin has something to say about it. Thought for a second he was going to spam to get a second. Of course, it's B&J who does. cauanzin's still back there. My goodness, it looks like he's hitting him every single time.
They're getting through a Viper's Pit here in this clutch to save the map.
They've got to push. They've got to push. The tap, the dart gets destroyed. B&J looking for any sort of target, and he finds one. Not going to find the second. Oh, all of the pressure on his shoulders, but it ended up being